Welcome to For Action Takers Only. Today I'm interviewing Jeremy Montoya. I met Jeremy back in June when I started SubTo and attended the Houston Power Hour group. Jeremy was very welcoming to me and helped me out a lot with doing direct to seller calls. I was very nervous, and he would walk me through some. So I really appreciate him, and let's bring him in and get him introducing himself. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good, good. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, my name is Jeremy Montoya. I am one of the sub 2 leaders here in Houston, Texas. Even though I do live up here in College Station, so I am a little ways away from Houston, but
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
yeah, but I am one of the leaders there. Me and my wife, we do real estate together, and then also my wife owns her own business, so we work on that business together.
Okay, I met you in the Houston Power Hour. How did
Yeah.
you how did you get into that, and how did you start that? Can you tell us a story about Power Hour?
Yeah, I love telling this story. So it all started back. It was at the beginning of the year. I think it was December. Me and Jennifer we were heading to Denver for Christmas. We usually travel around that time, and that's usually the best time for us to always do our planning. I don't know why, but being in the car for whatever X amount of hours, for some reason, me and Jennifer, that's our best time to do our planning. And one of the things I put down on my list that I want to do is I said I really want to be more of a leader in the sub 2 community in Houston. And we have Regina White and Jeff Smith, which has always been our leaders here. They're the accountability leaders in Houston, and they've always been really consistent since I've been around, right? And I wanted to become more of a leader, put myself out there more and more. So one of the things that Jeff Smith actually used to do, he used to actually do a Zoom. It was before I came along, and it used to be called Texas Two Step. So I was going to approach Jeff at some point and be like, "Hey Jeff, would you be willing to start Texas Two Step with me again, get it going again?" And this was a Zoom, he do every on the weekends every week.
Oh, cool.
Doing like role playing and stuff like that, kind of like the nightly, like the daily dial, right? But
Hmm.
it's on the weekends. And I wanted to approach him and be like, "Hey Jeff, like let's do it for a month together, kind of get it going, and then I'll just take over," right? And we went to our trip, came back. This is in now January, right? And we're sitting through one of the accountability calls, and Jeff announces some of the new things that they're going to be doing this year. And one of the things he came up with, this is Jeff Smith's idea. He said him and Regina had been talking, and they wanted to do a thing called Power Hour, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with the golden ticket that Pace had through on, actually.
No, I haven't heard of that.
Okay. What the golden ticket was, Pace was doing this last year. It was a event where he would invite people out, to where his office was in Phoenix, and people would get into small groups and they would call like agents and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, Jeff and Regina got actually invited to the last one that was in December, and they went out there and they got to experience it, and they were like, "Wow, the energy, was really good." So Jeff, when he came back, they wanted to do something similar to that.
Hmm.
And Jeff wanted to make calls and be like, hold himself accountable. So he's like, I'm going to start this thing called Power Hour. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this every Saturday. You're welcome to come out. I'm going to be making my own phone calls, but you're welcome to come out and join. And as soon as Jeff said that, I was like, I remember being, on that call, and I remember turning around to Jennifer, was like, I want to do this. This is perfect. This is something I've been looking for. Right. And after that call ended, I called Jeff right away, like instantly, and told Jeff, "Hey, I want to be the leader on this. Like, please I want to take the lead on this."
Cool.
And funny thing is I actually missed the first weekend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I got the times mixed up. I thought he was going to start it the next Saturday, but he was starting it that Saturday. And I remember that also calling him up and saying, oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize it was this, after making that call to him and saying, hey, Jeff, I want to be the leader. And then I missed the first one, right?
Right? So you're lucky he didn't kick you to the side and say, "I got someone else."
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember him saying to me, oh, no problem. I understand, and him telling me, why don't you work on a location? I was like, all right, I could do that. I'll find a location for us, and then I'll be, there this coming Saturday. And I remember that's when I found, I don't know if you ever were around, but we used to go to Rudy's in the little back. They used to have a little back room, a little party area where you can close the doors.
Uh-huh.
And that's the spot that I found. And we
Okay.
started going. And then that first weekend I showed up, also Andrew then showed up. And that's when Andrew, started there with us right there at the beginning too. And that's when we started that's how Power Hour started there. That was a little story.
How long has it been going now? How long ago was that?
We started this in January. I can't remember if it was towards the end of the month, kind of, but or mid-month in January of this year. So,
Oh, really? So
yes,
Power Hour is that new?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, wow. I did not know that. I thought it's been going on a little bit longer. So it's really picked up pace and gathered some steam, huh?
yeah, yeah. I remember when we first got it like going and stuff. It was like me, my wife Jennifer, Jeff, Regina, and then Andrew, of course, and Francesca, and then maybe a couple other people. So it was
Right.
just a really small group, that just
Yeah.
kept on coming consistently. And then other people started to see that, and then it started to grow.
So how long, well, since January, it hasn't been that long. I started in June. It's only about 6 months, 5 months, six
Yeah.
months. So that it picked up pretty good. Now you're getting 30 or more people a time.
Yeah, I would
Close.
say most of the time we get like 40 plus people, I would say, every weekend now.
All right. And you're at Patent Title Company. What were the other places that they do it at?
We so we're at Patent Title and then also Fidelity.
Okay.
Title. Those are the two main spots that we're at right now. We're always looking for new spaces because it's hard to hold that many people and be able to divide into different
Right.
locations and do what we got to do.
So I want to ask you, we got through that story. What brought you to SubTo? How did you find SubTo? And what motivated you to get started in it?
Um, so back in 2022, I actually was going to go start another business. I was actually going to get into doing hotshot. If you're not familiar with that, it's a truck and trailer all
Delivery.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah, delivering and stuff. And I was going to go do that. I had got my CDL and stuff like that. And my end goal was always to get into real estate. So I wanted to, I was going to go get my business going and then I was going to go do that. Right. And I did. I accomplished that. I went and got my CDL. I wanted to start my business. I was starting to pile cash so that I can go buy me a pickup and a trailer and stuff like that. And at the time, I was working for another trucking company doing over the road. And I actually had reached out to, his name is Logan. And Logan actually didn't tell me about SubTo. I didn't even know SubTo actually existed. And I reached out to him because him and my wife Jennifer used to work together. And Jennifer told me one day, she came to me and said, hey, Logan's doing real estate now. I was like, oh, cool. And apparently he's doing really well. Like he was posting all kinds of stuff and things like that. So one time I see he created some post about, I can't remember exactly what it was about. I think it was about reading like Rich Dad Poor Dad and stuff like that. And then something about like for a mentor and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying like he was looking like he was trying to be a mentor or whatever, but he had posted something about it. And I remember thinking, you know what? Why don't I reach out to Logan and see how I can join him? Kind of because he also posted something about invest with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, cool. So I set up a call with him. Of course, him and Jennifer already knew each other, and he never brought up about SubTo. He never brought SubTo about it. He talked to us for like a half an hour, an hour, I can't remember. And I had just asked him, hey, how do I get into real estate? And he gave me some tips and stuff like that. And I said, hey, where can I find some information to keep on learning while I'm kind of going through all this? And he told me, go follow Pace. I was like, okay, go listen to his podcast. At the time, I think it was Sunday Service. The name's changed now.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, cool. And I went back and I started listening to all the old Sunday service that there was. I started listening to it. And I think I got like so many episodes in, and then I finally realized he had a community, and that's when I called and got in.
Cool. How long have you been in SubTo now? How long has it been?
It's been a year. It's been a
Been a
year
year.
now.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it was last June, so yeah, it's been a little over a year now.
All
Um,
right.
yeah.
So tell me about mindset. What do you do to keep your mindset going through the hard times? Because I know doing this, we all come across struggles. We all have difficulties. We're trying to find a way. What gets you through it?
Ooh, that's a really good question. You know, and that's something I've battled with in the past is mindset stuff. Um, the big thing for me is I think always staying positive. I know we're going to have our bad days. We all have those bad days or we have those bad thoughts. I think it's just catching those for me is catching those thoughts right away. As soon as I realize, hey, this thought's coming in my head or stuff like that. I feel like it's for me, it's catching those thoughts right away and trying to figure out how to get rid of those thoughts. Those have been some of the bigger issues. Jennifer has always helped me out a lot and keep me positive and keep me moving forward.
All right.
Yeah.
Always good to have a partner, huh?
Yeah, it's always important. And, it took me a long time to realize this. I think that growing up, we're always taught that mistakes are kind of bad.
Yeah.
Now that I've gotten older, this is something that's really helped me out with breaking through and doing new things is that mistakes are okay. That means you're learning and you just
Hmm.
keep falling forward and keep moving forward. And I think that's something that's really helped me out through all this.
Cool. So, we want to get to what's going on new with you. Here's some new stuff is happening with you. What's going on with Sub2 now? What's your new role?
Yeah, that's a great question. I love it. So I really love doing me and Jennifer really love small businesses. I had an e-commerce business in New Mexico when I lived in New Mexico in Albuquerque before I moved to Texas. I had an e-commerce business for like 4 years.
Hmm.
Made tons of mistakes in there, but learned a lot.
Right.
um, and after I had that business and I moved on from it, I've tried to start up a couple other businesses. Didn't quite pan out. Again, also a learning experience. And then as right now, we have Jennifer's business. It's thriving really good. And something about having a small business has always been something that just lights up me and Jennifer. I never realized that you can go buy small businesses. That's something I never really realized. And now that this is starting to come out more and more that you can go buy small business creatively, like it's just opened up this whole entire new thing for me. And it really excites me.
Awesome, awesome. I'm looking forward to hearing more about that and your role as you're able to tell us. And I'll be at Power Hour when I can with soccer season, so I'll have to miss some here and there like I have been. But
Yeah.
uh, I miss Power Hour. That is
Yeah.
one place to get a good boost of positive energy. The positive energy around that place is amazing, and I thank y'all for putting it on.
Thank
Uh,
you.
so what are your plans? What are your future plans here with Power Hour with Sub2? How's it going with Sub2? Have you had any deals yet, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, everything is going good. The plan with like Power Hour and stuff, that's something that, um, I'm glad that it's a good place for everybody to go and still bring as much value as we can. Like I'm going to continue being a huge part of Power Hour and letting it grow into what it is now. Even I think it's still just the tip of the iceberg of what Power Hour can still be.
Hmm.
I'm still going to put tons of energy into Power Hour. As far as we're the direction me and what I'm moving now, we're going to start looking at the businesses, of course. I think, as me right now, I'm just going to work as doing acquisition in businesses. So just calling brokers, calling direct to seller, stuff like that. We're working on getting all the systems put into place on how to, the processes on how to do that and stuff. And we're starting to build out a buy box and stuff like that. I expect by the end of the year that we should have at least one business that we've bought now. So
Awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
So with Zero Down, are you going to be a part of that?
Yes. Actually, I am actually part of that right now. I am actually with Daniel Kiana.
Okay.
I'm actually one of his lead managers on that, acquisition managers. The opportunity came, to me, and I, without knowing all the facts and everything, all the details, I said, "Hey, I want to be part of this." So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working with him, and we're building out all the systems to move forward with that.
Cool. So you're working on the systems. Are we going to get to see you doing some podcasts or some Zoom meetings? Are you going to be leading some Zoom meetings that we can jump in on and learn from you, or what?
Yes, actually that's currently happening right now. Of course, you have to be a SubTo student, and then of course there's some homework to do to get into it. But yes, currently those Zooms are going on right now as we're speaking. Actually,
All right.
Go
What's
ahead.
the homework? Can you fill us in what the homework is? I'm going to have to, I started it. I started with getting the 50 friends. I'm working on that. So I'm going to get into there. I'm just focusing on project 4. I got shiny object syndrome. I don't want to jump in on too many things. So I'm
Yeah.
working towards the Zero Down now because that is something I really want to focus on. But tell us the homework. What's the homework?
Yeah, the homework is talk to 50 people. Um, it's kind of getting you out there, right, to talk to people. I always say I personally would say go talk to 50 new people, not maybe 50 people you already know, but go talk to 50 people. Doesn't matter who they are. Just they want you to prove that you've talked to 50 people recently.
Okay.
They also
Okay. So you send Zoom out to the Zoom link to 50 other people.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, all within SubTo, of course. It's all just in SubTo. And
Right.
then also the other thing they want you to do is go leave some reviews on SubTo. I believe it was with Bigger Pockets, and then there was another link to somewhere else. Go leave a review about SubTo and your experience and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then the last one was going to be you email SubTo support, and with all that information that you've done, and what they're going to send you is an NDA so that you can sign, and then you could be part of that.
All right, cool. I'm gonna have to get that done. And they're gonna be letting people in, at any time, right? There's not gonna be like a cutoff. They're gonna say, "Hey, we're only doing this so long," or is there any of that happening?
Yeah, there's no deadline like that. It's already been open. We've already had, let's see, 3 Zooms. We're doing a Zoom every day right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
And
going on right now. Yeah,
okay,
there's
and
videos in there and stuff like that. So
there's a vault, and it's just like a whole nother community inside the community, huh?
yes, so it's still going to be the same Facebook, SubTo, um, same group and stuff like that. The only thing is there is going to be a different calendar for that.
Okay.
But yeah, everything's in there and stuff like that.
Great. So we're about out of time. I thank you for your time. We're hitting the time limit, man. I really appreciate you being on here, Jeremy. It's good to see you as always.
Yeah.
And I look forward to being back at Houston Power Hour. I asked you to come join our group, man. Come join our group for Action Takers Only. Promote whatever you're doing there, please. That's what we're. I'm starting this group to help other people out. Promote what you're doing. Oh, I wanted to get one more other thing. You guys at Houston Power Hour are also doing a podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we get off the air?
Yes. That just started. Last week was kind of like a trial run, kind of just getting it going. Kind of this week we're trying to kind of figure out how things are working. But yes, that's going to be part of Power Hour now. So at 11 o'clock, we actually will do our podcast live, and you can actually ask questions live and stuff like that.
I look forward to that. So you guys check out the Houston Power Hour podcast as that comes along. If you can make it out to Houston Power Hour, come see Jeremy and Andrew and Jeff. These guys are very helpful, and they know what they're doing. They'll get you rolling. So Jeremy, I appreciate your time.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
We're gonna call it a day here, and I look forward to talking to you more later. I'm gonna have you on later on down the line. All right.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
All right.